Hi there, I am so excited for today's video. I really hope you enjoy it. I'm finally going to be doing my very first sketchbook tour. This is the first sketchbook that I've ever finished. I'm quickly going to put a sticker on because I don't have anything on it. That's cute, I like it. It's kind of Christmassy. I think it's actually a wall sticker, but I thought it would work absolutely fine. This sketchbook is the Moleskine watercolor sketchbook. I actually wasn't a fan of this one, and I've already done a review on it. I'm going to pop that here and in the caption below if you're interested in watching it. I really wasn't a fan of using it, but I finished it regardless, of course. The very first page, I've popped the start and finish date. I had this one for 6 months, and I think that's really quite good going for a sketchbook, really, to be able to finish it in 6 months. I love adding the start and finish date to the start of my sketchbooks. That's something I always do. I really love this kind of style as well. I think I saw something on Pinterest and I was like, that looks great, so I tried to replicate it in turning it into like an actual kind of calendar thing. I really like it. Here I popped down some swatches for my first set of metallic watercolours. I've never tried any others, so I don't really have anything to compare them to, but they kind of layered a little bit funny. This is when I noticed that it started to pick up the layer underneath. Here I also tried something similar where I tried to do several layers and I just noticed that I kept picking up the layer underneath. These are just some cute little houses I did. I tried to do them freehand with no ruler, and I think that one is actually adorable. The rest were just really fun. Then I did these ones using a ruler. I'm really happy with how they turned out. Here I was just practicing some skin tones. At this point I'd never done portraits before, so it was just an interesting little experiment. I do think it's quite pretty though, the way that it fills the page. These noses I really love. I saw references on Pinterest and I kind of wanted to give it a go, and this was the first time I'd done anything like that. You can see that there's areas that have been overworked, but I don't know if that's just to do with the paper. For this one, I tried to recreate one of etchr's paintings. I absolutely love her style, but I just could not do it. Then I practiced a load of mouths here. I was really happy with these. This was when I was starting to step into doing portraits. Next, this was an adorable little scene that I saw on Pinterest, and I just wanted to quickly fill a page. I think I had actually done this one first, and then I wanted to just fill the other page with something, but this only took like 2 minutes. I really like it. This colour wheel was done really quickly, but I love having a colour wheel in all of my sketchbooks just so it's handy. It looks a little bit muddy because I only used one red, blue and yellow. Sometimes if you do a cool and a warm of each one, it kind of looks a lot nicer. This painting I really like. It was snowing and I went outside with my camera. I took some lovely photos and I got this picture and I wanted to recreate it. I used gouache, but I really dry brushed it, so you can see that there's quite a bit of texture there, and I do quite like that. Next, this is when I got my himi jelly gouache. You can see how lovely and opaque they all are, and it was really out of my comfort zone, but I do still have my jelly gouache, and it's dried up a little bit, so they're probably not as opaque as these, but they're a really good starter set. Then I practiced some gradients here with the jelly gouache. I think they're really quite pretty. It's just a shame about the tape not being really clean. I think at this time I didn't know about using a hairdryer, and I didn't do like the best kind of methods to try and get the tape clean, so I had quite a few issues. Here I was trying to compare the mixing white and the pure white for the jelly gouache, but honestly they still look identical. This little leaf that I did, I think it's really pretty, but basically I was trying to test salt for this sketchbook. I like to use different techniques and see how it handles it. So I don't know if you can see, I used masking fluid here, and the masking fluid I actually used as a barrier so that I could do different sections filled with different colours, and I think that in itself is a wonderful technique because you wouldn't be able to do this just freehand. And I've added salt to everything, and you can see that there is a little bit of texture. This next page was me testing out a load of watercolour techniques. I did this page in my etchr, which I wanted to kind of cover the basic techniques and see how the page would handle it. So I did this test one first to see what I wanted to include. I think the lifting worked really well on this one because it's not 100% cotton. The gradient does have quite a bit of granulation. The cling film really stands out too. I think it's good to test your paper to know what they're good at. This one, I was using the jelly gouache again, and I wanted to try the 2D kind of illustration style landscapes. This was the beginning of something because I did quite a lot like these. I do really like it. And I was also trying to get the hang of the gouache. This one I do really like as well. I found gouache so difficult, but I was really happy with these. They look so different to watercolour as well. Using the jelly gouache again, I created these clouds. I really love these clouds. I know that they're not very realistic at all, but I do really like them. They're very simple, and you can tell that I got a little bit better with the tape as well because they're a little bit cleaner, the lines. Here I wanted to try something that I saw on Pinterest or YouTube, I think it was, and it was to do with using oil pastel as a kind of wax resist. So here I used coloured oil pastels, and I don't think that really worked very well, to be honest. I popped one layer of watercolour on top and then 2 layers here, and it just looks a bit messy, really. This one, I'm pretty sure the idea was from Macchino. I don't know if I said that right, but I will tag her video down below. She created fireworks by using coloured watercolours and then using a white oil pastel on top and then covering it with black, and I tried to recreate it and it didn't go very well, but if you watch her video looks so good. This skull came about because I think I was testing the blooms on the paper, so I was testing all the pinks to see what it would look like, and then I just wanted to pop something on there to fill it, so I ended up drawing this skull. I think I used a loose Pinterest reference maybe. For this one I wanted to try masking fluid with gouache, and I don't think it was really necessary, but it was a good little test. This next one, I definitely got the idea from Pinterest. It was kind of like a wet on wet bloom thing, and then you sort of draw a plane on it, and mine looks a bit like a bird, but it's supposed to be a plane. It was a really simple way to just fill the page, and I do like it. For this one, it was actually practice for my etchr. This sketchbook very much was alongside my etchr, so you'll see a lot of the little test pieces I did in here are for my etchr pieces, because my etchr is a little bit more like an art book than a sketchbook. So for this one I was trying out bubbles and raindrops. I've never done bubbles or raindrops before and it was really difficult, but I do really like some of the water blooms, the effects that came through. This was also when I bought Moonglow, my first Daniel Smith tube, and you can just see the colour variation, the granulation. I love it. These next pages were really quite clever. It was an idea that I had to practice skin tones. This was about the time that I started doing portraits. And I wanted to have some kind of record, but I also wanted to just like try all the colours I had. So it's something that I do still refer back to have like a good base to start with a skin tone. But I tried a load of greens and blues, and I tried crazy colours, especially on this next page. Like, I have so many different colours, and it really kind of shocked me how you can have so many different colours and then they create such similar skin tones. Like, there's greens, pinks, reds, so many different colours, and they all create really similar skin tones, but I love the variation that's underneath, and I really love referring back to this. It gives me a good starting point, so I do recommend something like this, like some kind of skin colour chart. This next one, this was the first time that I went plein air painting. It was horrific. It's really quite amazing that I managed to go following this because it was so bad. I was sitting in the car, I didn't have fine liners, I just had my watercolour paints, and it was so difficult to try and create distinction and layers between each of them because the paint just... you don't have time to create separate layers. The paint doesn't dry properly. After this one, I realised that I needed to take my fine liners with me, so I definitely learnt something from it and I was brave enough to go. These were the first eyes that I'd ever painted, and I'm really still quite happy with them. This one, I think I did only use like 1 or 2 browns, and I've definitely learned a lot more since then. This one, I did Out and About. This one, I think, was from a watercolour painting on Pinterest. At this time, I was teaching myself watercolours, and I didn't have the skill to use ordinary photographs as references, so really I was just using other watercolours, and I'm not sure if that was the best way to learn, but it was kind of the way that it broke it down for me. I'm still happy with this, and I think this was a turning point where I actually started doing portraits. These are test pages. I was using the alcohol drop technique and it didn't really work. And then I tried it more and it worked a little bit better, but it didn't really work. I have made this technique work before, but honestly, I think a lot of it depends on the paper, and then it just like, sometimes you can just fluke it with some techniques, and these ones didn't work, but I have had some work in the past. This next one was the second plein air painting that I did. I was sitting on the beach and I took my fine liners with me, and I was really happy with how this one went. You can just see, because I've added the details with fine liner, it was really simple because I only really needed 1 layer to pop the colour in. It was really enjoyable, this one. I would recommend plein air painting if you've never done it before. It can be really fun. This was another kind of test page. I can't remember whether I used masking fluid here or not. I think I probably would have. I don't think I would have done it by hand, but it was very wonky. It was a very quick thing. This one, I wanted to test layering in this sketchbook. You can see the first 4 layers are pretty fine, and then the 5th layer, it just can't do anymore. And you can see it on all of them. It just stops layering. Okay, this next page was really fun. I really loved this one. I used masking fluid. I just popped masking fluid down and then I just splashed a load of colour on and then just dropped other colours in. But I really love how this one turned out. It was really fun. If I remember rightly, I actually put masking fluid on the day before and then I think I accidentally closed my book and the page just stuck together and all the masking fluid just peeled off, so I had to redo it for this one because I hadn't painted it at that point. These next two, again, were like little ideas that I saw on Pinterest. With a sketchbook this size, I do like filling the pages in a really simple way. I also was trying to figure out what I do and don't like, and I was trying to teach myself watercolour, so that's what a lot of this was. This was my white gel pen that I used, which I do kind of like here, but this one I do really quite like. I like the watercolour background in it. Then we've got another plein. This one, I do really like it, but it was really difficult to simplify. There were so many buildings, there was so much to see, and there were so many boats, and I just really struggled to simplify it, and it took a long time. I didn't really want it to take as long as it took. I think it probably took about 2 hours, and I definitely wanted to work a lot faster than that when I do plein air, but I like it. I do like how it turned out, but there was just so much detail. I think definitely keep it simple. This next one, this kind of style of watercolour painting is all over Pinterest. I think it's by Dominic Bueller. I think that might be correct. Using fineliner really made this hand a lot easier to draw. I think fineliner kind of simplifies things and adds the details without needing layers, and it can make painting a lot easier. I was really happy with how this hand turned out. I'd never done anything like it. Then this one, I did this out and about and stuck it in. This I'm so much happier with than the last one. Like, if we compare the two, I really enjoyed drawing eyes, but this is the one that I did in April, and then this is the one that I did in June. Like, how much better is that? I think in here I've just got all of the moleskin details. As I said, I've done a review if you're interested in watching that. I'll pop that down below. Finishing this sketchbook was such a big thing for me, especially finishing it as quickly as I did. It's been really nice to have a look back at this sketchbook. I have a lot of good memories of this sketchbook, and I think I really developed my watercolour skills a lot. I didn't know that it was going to be this size when I ordered it. I thought it was going to be bigger, but having it this size means that I was able to just pop in a load of stuff and try out a load of stuff that I wouldn't do if I was a bit scared of ruining bigger paper that was like nicer quality. I hope you've enjoyed going through it with me. This is my very first sketchbook, but I've actually got 6 completed now, so let me know if you'd like me to show any of my others. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, I would love if you could subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Bye bye.